So yeah, that's my story of how I became the first female undergraduate student at Columbia University. So yeah, welcome to my podcast. I worked so hard. Well, honestly, I have a friend who goes to Columbia University. He's a good friend of mine from my high school in the US. He's an American. So he encouraged me to apply there, and it was a dream of mine to go to Columbia, but I was like, who cares, you know? He's in computer science, yeah. But I thought it's way too competitive. They have like 3 or 5% of acceptance rate for first years, and I thought, you know what? No, thank you. I'm not gonna apply. But then he encouraged me. The application was quite easy compared to all the other schools I've applied. A lot of schools required around, 5 to 8 essays. Supplemental questions, those include shorter answers, those include everything, and they ask for 4 recommendation letters, where Columbia asked only for two or even one. I think they asked one, and the second is optional if you want to. The essay was a biography essay. You had to write like 2,000 words, basically talking about, you know, yeah, how amazing you are, which I never had problems with that ever. This is like my expertise. One thing I'm good at is like talking about myself, and I loved it. So I've wrote about all the amazing things that I've been doing, and um, all the challenges I had to overcome, which I'm also very good at describing those. Being a village girl, coming from very underrepresented country, so that was the case there. And yeah, overall the application was quite easy, I would say. Again, I'm comparing it to other schools, and maybe if I started with that application, would have been like, oh my gosh, how do I do that? UC schools, they also require a lot of work. They asked me for 7 essays or 6 essays, I don't remember. But it was very, very easy because they don't bullshit. That's what I like about UCs. They don't try to ask those quirky questions. They just say like, why you want to come here? What's your major? And I just told them my major is that. I really like it. I like researching. I know you're a good research school. Please let me in. They'll let me in, okay? So it was fairly, I mean, of course, they had some fun questions, such as, tell us about your creativity side. What do you like to create? And I said, food. I'm obsessed with food. I like cooking. So I described how I make one dish in the kitchen, and I described that kitchen is my space of exploration, and they liked it. So I got in. Of course, not everyone gets it. So I don't want to discredit people's work, my work. It was hard. You have to work on that. But I like that they ask questions very straightforward. They're not looking for like this philosophical meaning in your essay. They just want you to answer the question. And if you don't answer the question, then they'll be like, sorry, we don't know what you were talking about. So don't try to be too philosophical in your crash. I'm giving advices now, you guys. So take a pen and a notebook. Colombia, no, again, Colombia was so much fun. Colombia was just like write a biography. Yeah, like write. And then you know what happened? This is actually an exciting story. You know what happened? The next thing happened was sometime in May. So I applied in the beginning of March, like March 1st. Sometimes in May, they were supposed to get back to me and say, like, hey, you got in, or no, you didn't. So instead, I'm getting an email from this one person from Colombia, and they say, hey, we were just reviewing your application and we're really curious about you. Can you answer these 2 additional questions? So they sent me 2 questions. One of them was like, why do you want to apply to Columbia school? And they, put the major that I labeled. And then they said, how is it different from other schools you're applying? Because they assumed no, they assumed that I've been applying to other schools and they wanted to like make sure that I'm very serious about them, right? That's my assumption. And the second question was like, what did you do during your gap year? Because I took a gap year and I described my gap year, but not so much in my essay. So, and they really like this they call them non traditional students. So apparently they love this kind of students. They think that they're so amazing. They think they stand out so much. They're mature. So they wanted to learn about what I've done during my gap year. And I was in Kerben teaching English there, right? I was teaching English. I was flex representative. Is that the thing still? So I was Fox representative and I was doing a bunch of fun stuff for Caribbean folks, you know, the village people out there. Hello. So yeah, I emailed back with this outstanding essay again, as always. And you know, it's after that, maybe a month after that. I waited for very long. Yeah, I waited for very, very long. And then I thought, okay, I got my answer from UC Berkeley. I deposited like safe to deposit. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go to Berkeley since, you know, I probably didn't get into Columbia. But then they answered, they said I got in. And then I was like, great. But they didn't say anything about the money. And it was like $87,000 to go to Columbia versus, you know, 73,000 to go to Berkeley, which is not a big difference, but it was still kind of like a lot of money for me. So I emailed back and I said, are you giving me any money? So they said, hey, wait, it usually takes, you know, 1 week or up to 2 weeks after you get admitted. So I waited and I kept calling them. So they made sure that they process it faster because I said, I need to make a decision now. Yeah, and then I got 100% for my tuition fees. Yeah, which doesn't include everything, right? They still had to pay for housing, which I have the money. Don't worry about it. Although we'll put my Venmo right here. Yeah, I got some scholarship for my housing, and I'm I wasn't too bad with my savings and some other donations helped me to have all the full amount for 1 year. Aw, and this is my puppy Jasper. Say something. So yeah, that's my story of how I became the first female undergraduate student at Columbia University. Again, once again, first ever female from Kyrgyzstan, Kyrgyzstan, who will be studying at Columbia University. I think so. Limon KG, please do not text me. I'm not gonna give an interview to you guys. Any nonprofit, please email me. I'm happy to help you. I am. I really like the idea of paying it forward, so I'd love to help nonprofits. I just don't like you. I'm sorry. I know. I don't believe what they just like make drama from everything. Can we cut that part? За да, которая ухаживала за собаками. У них дома был кой, она жила в сарае, знаете, no thank you. I lived my happy life in Kerben. I was so happy and, you know, I'm very lucky to be from there. So, you know, like other nonprofits, you know, like Girls for Girls, Village Girl. Yeah, any other questions? That's it? Oh my goodness. Don't hate. Yeah. Gulnazik Barack Obama. This is me, Gulnazik Bahramova. See. Well, I don't know if I'm the first one. So if am I the first one? If Limon KG didn't maybe they didn't get to those other female for first females in Colombia. Maybe they were just as humble as I am. So if you are the first female who went to Colombia, reach out to me. We can fix that interview, right? Anyways, that's it.